Hello YouTube, how's it going? It's the professional here. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys want me to keep the intro that I had in this video starting it up, because a lot of people have wanted me to keep the intros in the video and a lot of people didn't want them either. So you guys decide in the comments below, do you guys want the intro or not in the videos? So now let's get on with the video. So this video right here is a video that I've wanted to make for some time. I've wanted to make this video for a long time, but I never got around to it. And this video is focusing something different. It's focusing on story mode, and it's focusing on story and online also. And in this video, we're going to be looking at 5 cases of Rockstar logic that have personally bothered me. And Rockstar logic are things that just don't make sense in the game. And look, I understand GTA is not a realistic game. It's not supposed to be, but there's a bunch of things in this game that just do not make sense. This is my personal list, my top 5 things of things that just bothered me when I went through the story mode, and even when I went through story and online. These are just 5 concepts that didn't make sense to me and just bothered me. And when you guys really think about it, you understand how much these things don't make sense. So let's get on with it. Let's start up this video. So starting off this list, number 5 is Trevor going to Los Santos. And if you guys remember from the story mode, Trevor is going to Los Santos to try to look for his old friend Michael, who he believes is still alive after he sees a news report of the jewelry store heist, and he sees a description of the suspect using Michael's famous movie phrase. So him and Wade are going to Los Santos, and Ron is left in charge of Trevor Phillips Industries while they are away. The problem here is that Trevor has never been to Los Santos. He's always been in Sandy Shores in Blaine County. He's never visited the city before. And in terms of the online, when we look at the Series A heist, he has actually been to Los Santos before. And the first part of online, before gun running, actually takes place 1 month before the single player. So it doesn't make sense. He's never been to Los Santos, but then he has actually been to Los Santos 1 month before. You know, the whole concept doesn't make sense. Here, let me show you an example. So this right here is the scene when Trevor pulls up and sees the city for the first time.
So, Michael, this is where dead men come back to life. It's been nearly 10 years, but you'll keep for another day or so, huh, old friend? You motherfucking fuck! I grieved for you! You weren't even fucking dead. You were my best friend. Well, guess who's coming to shit on your doorstep, you fuck!
So as you guys see, he's never been to Los Santos before, but let's take a look at this in GTA Online Series A, which takes place 1 month before that scene right here, and he actually has been to Los Santos.
Hi there! Yeah, welcome! So glad you could make it. Now haven't we met already, huh? Have you met Ron? Have you? Well, either way, it doesn't matter. Congratulations! Huh? You all now have jobs in a startup.
So he hasn't been to Los Santos before, but he actually has been there 1 month before. And this scene, you know, it always bothered me so much. And, you know, if gun running, we know that gun running takes place in 2017. So maybe the Series A takes place after the main story. Maybe Trevor actually survived. Maybe ending C was the actual ending. But, you know, Rockstar logic, they don't really explain it here. So somehow Trevor was in Los Santos, even though he wasn't before. And also, another thing here is he leaves Ron in charge of Trevor Phillips Industries, in charge of his gun and meth business while he's away. But in this scene, he has Chef with him, and he has Ron with him. So who is running his meth and gun business when they're all here? You know, the whole concept doesn't make much sense. And I understand, you know, it's not supposed to be a realistic story, but how is he here in Los Santos when he's never been here before? Number 4 on this list is Union Depository hasn't been robbed before, and what I mean by this is when you're planning the big one, the Union Depository heist in the single player, what doesn't make sense here is that Lester mentions that this place has never been successfully hit before, and that they will be making, quote, history when they rob it, but when you go to online and you do the import-export, the ramp buggy mission, there's a crew that's already robbing the Union Depository, and you help them successfully escape it. Here, listen to Trevor mention that it's never been robbed before.
What you don't know is there's a special team of cops on standby 24/7, waiting on a signal from the UD. Won't go out on any other call.
And it's never been hit. Man, those guys must get bored.
So as you guys heard right there, the Union Depository has never been successfully robbed. Now let me show you the multiplayer mission, the ramp buggy mission with import-export, the CEO one, which clearly shows that the place has been robbed successfully. So as you guys see, the Union Depository has been successfully hit before, despite what Lester and Trevor actually say. And right here in the Doomsday Heist, which takes place in 2017, so 4 years after the story mode, Lester still mentions the Union Depository as if it's never been robbed.
Get us one step closer to taking him down. You know, if we pull all this off, take down Avon and Clifford, we won't have to rob the Union Depository. They'll give us a key.
Number 3 is the train in the Derailed mission, and Derailed is a mission in the main story mode, and this mission involves Michael and Trevor robbing a train that belongs to Merryweather. And in this mission, Trevor takes a Sanchez dirt bike, jumps on top of the train, races to the front cabin, and hijacks the train. The problem with this mission is that the train is going the wrong way. If you go, there's only one track. There's not 2 tracks here, there's only 1 track. And if you look at the trains in regular story mode and even online, the trains only go in one direction, and they go in the opposite direction. Trains in this game never go in this direction on this set of tracks, except in this mission. The train is going in the wrong direction. It never changes tracks. It only stays on this one specific track, and then when it gets to the bridge, it crashes into another train. So basically, there was another train that was already coming towards this train. And, you know, the mission would make a lot more sense if Trevor switch tracks, you know, if he took the train on a different track, but instead he's staying on the same track. And, you know, the train was supposed to stop here at the Merryweather base, but he keeps going on the same track right here until he crashes into another train on the bridge. And what makes no sense here is, how does he time when the other train is going to be there? You know, the most likely scenario would be that he would hit it in the tunnel, or he would hit it somewhere outside of the bridge. But he hits it right over the bridge. Somehow he perfectly times it, that they're both going to smash into each other. One train is going in the opposite direction, even though they never change tracks. And they both just crash into each other, and everything falls right down. Nothing gets stuck on the bridge. So it really didn't make much sense how the trains are only going in one specific direction. And I'm going to show you guys the actual track that's used. And I'm going to show you guys that the trains only go in one direction right here in free mode. Take a look at this. Right here in free mode, I jumped on top of an NPC train, and we are taking the train in the exact same area where the trains crash. The train only goes in this specific direction. This is the only direction that the train will go. The train will never go in the opposite direction on these tracks right here. So the train in that mission was already on the wrong side of the tracks. So I don't understand. And let me show you guys the part where we get right near the Merryweather base. So right here, this is the area where the train was originally supposed to stop, and if we look to the side here, that's where a train could potentially stop. The problem is that the train would have to stop from this side, on the right side here, but the train was going from the complete opposite direction on that track, and trains would not be going in the same track from the opposite direction. So where was this train on this side originally going to? Was it supposed to stop here, and they were both supposed to stop in front of each other? You know, the whole concept doesn't make much sense. Where was each train going? Number 2 is Agent ULP, Dead or Alive. Agent ULP is this guy in the black suit right here with the glasses.
It's over. We've got you. Anti-American activity.
Put your weapons down, all of you!
Who the fuck are you with?
With me!
You fucking rat. I knew you didn't have the balls for this.
So in this scene right here, a huge standoff happens between the FIB, Michael, Dave, Steve Haynes, the IAA, where ULP is from, and Merryweather. And a firefight ends up breaking out here, and Agent ULP gets killed by Michael. You actually have to kill Agent ULP in order to advance. But this takes place in 2013. Story mode takes place in 2013. The Doomsday Heist, Agent ULP returns in it, but the Doomsday Heist takes place in 2017, as indicated by Agent 14 in gun running. So he dies in this scene, but apparently comes back 4 years later, which doesn't make much sense. Let me show you guys here and judge it for yourselves. So right here's the part where we have to kill Agent ULP. Take a look at this right here. He's an enemy. He's a red dot on the map. Look at this. I'm shooting him. I even got the red X that he's dead. He's down on the ground. He's dead. I can shoot him as much as I want now. So Michael has to kill him in order to advance on this part. I mean, technically he could sneak around him, but he's really in your way, so the majority of players are going to end up killing him, and he's indicated as an enemy on the radar. So he ends up dying in this scene, but for some reason, doesn't matter how many times you shoot him, he comes back 4 years later. Take a look at this. Okay, wait, slow in here. Wait. Okay, wait. I can't use a shotgun in here.
You fucker mothers!
No shotgun?
So much for intelligence.
He had his human shield.
Let's go.
This is the guy from GTA 4 with the UL paper missions.
I remember him.
Fuck, I got you!
Okay. So right there, you guys heard my live reaction. Agent ULP is also in GTA 4. He's the guy that gives Nico all the government missions. He's the guy who's introduced by Michelle or Karen. But anyways, he ends up getting killed by Michael in 2013, and somehow 4 years later he comes back to life, and he gets kidnapped by the Russians, and then we end up saving him, and then he ends up helping us fight Avon. And I don't understand how he survived that. They don't really explain it. They don't go into detail. And for anybody that says no, professional, you're wrong, Online takes place in 2013. You're partially right. The first part of Online, up until gun running, takes place in 2013, 1 month before story mode. But then after gun running, it takes place in 2017. Here's proof that Online, after gun running, takes place in 2017.
We're mole hunting. One of our agents has been turned by a rival state. Yeah, it's 2017. I can't believe it either. He's using our own facilities to down the network and cover his escape. We're allocating you some lethal technology to stop that happening.
So now we know Gun Running, Smuggler's Run, and Doomsday takes place in 2017. Doomsday, since it's a story mode DLC, it takes place in 2017. So somehow Agent ULP survived that altercation with Michael. Number 1 is hacking a Russian sub hacks the US defense network. This made no sense to me. The first time I played this, I was like, what? What just happened, basically, here? And I understand the Doomsday story was not meant to be serious. It was written mostly for fun. But when you really think about this, how does this make any sense? So let me get this straight. We hacked a Russian nuclear submarine, and now somehow, all of a sudden, Clifford has access to the US defense network. Let me rephrase that. Hacking a Russian submarine gives Clifford access to the U.S. defense network. How does that work?
Mr. Crest, thank you, silent, psychotic peons, but this is where I say arrivederci. No, I mean, get ready. I mean, this is where I'm in charge. Me and Clifford. Go fuck yourselves, losers. Yes, losers.
Yes, we're in charge. Me and my dad. We're in charge, and this outdated low-tech submarine will self-destruct in 30 seconds.
I knew this was gonna happen.
I told you. By hatch over there, I have secret escape pod. Good luck!
And you know, some people will say, well, you didn't give Clifford power just through the Russian submarine. You also gave him power by hacking on the server farm mission and hacking into the Noose base. But you know what makes no sense about that? Noose stands for National Office of Security Enforcement. It's a parody of Homeland Security, and it's more like a SWAT team, a law enforcement agency in this game. So how on earth does hacking into a Noose facility, how does that somehow give Clifford, Avon, control of nuclear weapons, including the Russian submarine? And we also had the one in the morgue where we retrieved the data from the dead bodies. How does this make any sense? Where did this army that Avon created, this clone army, where did it come from? How did they get access to all these crazy advanced technologies? You know, the Kanjali tank, the barrage. Where did they get all these Valkyrie helicopters? Where did it just come from? It came from nowhere. They're more advanced. A stupid billionaire and his robot AI are more advanced than the US government. I don't understand. I don't understand how that comes from. And you know, I'm laughing when I'm thinking about this because it's kind of stupidly written. I mean, it's funny. It was a fun story, but when you think about it, the whole concept of it really makes no sense. So that was my number 1 thing. So when you think about it, put all this together, the server farm, the morgue, how did we end up helping Clifford get control of these nuclear weapons where we had to fight this huge army? So hacking a rogue Russian submarine somehow gives him power over the US defense network and allows him to build up this crazy advanced army that's more advanced than the US military. And breaking into a morgue and looting dead bodies for flash drives somehow gives him access to nuclear weapons. I will not understand how that works, you know? So that was my list for 5 things that did not make sense in my eyes in story mode, and the Doomsday one took number 1 because the whole thing made no sense, like I said earlier. Hacking a Russian submarine, looting dead bodies, and somehow breaking into some underground facility and hacking a few computers gives him control over the whole US defense network and makes us vulnerable, and a bunch of bank robbers managed to pull this off. And we also have this clone army that came out of nowhere that was never explained, and if he had this huge army, why didn't he just use them to complete his missions for him? Why did he have 4 bank robbers do everything for him and then screw them over? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed what I put as number 1. I had to put the Doomsday Heist on there because it was just so outrageous by everything that happened. And this was my opinion. This was my top 5 list for the top 5 Rockstar Logic moments that made no sense to me story-wise. And I understand there are so many different other Rockstar Logic moments out there, but these were personally moments that bothered me, and I noticed that something was up and didn't make sense. So if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below in the comments. And again, put it in the comments below if you guys want me to put the intro on future videos. And if you guys want me to make videos like this in the future on Rockstar Logic, other ones, I'm sure I could find other things that the game doesn't make sense in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think down below. And also, make sure to put your Rockstar Logic moments. Anything else in the story that you guys noticed didn't make sense? I'm sure there's a lot of things that I missed. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.